Hey y'all, hi. So a couple of weeks ago, when I was unpacking my makeup to put it away in my new space in our new house, and at the same time sorting through some PR that I hadn't fully tested yet and kind of figuring out what I was going to keep where and what needed to go where, I did all of that on camera in a video that has already posted to the channel. So I'll link that in the cards and in the description box down below. When I was doing that, in that video, I figured out that the system that would work the best, or I hypothesized that the system that would work the best would be this: to put the makeup that I'm testing, that's like PR or stuff that the channel bought for me to review, but that I haven't yet fully integrated into my life, into this makeup pouch and keep it with me downstairs where I get ready on a daily basis, on days when I'm not filming my face, not getting ready on camera, but just doing my makeup for me, for my own sake. That's like the testing ground that gets me really good information about makeup, the use value, the way that it fits into someone's daily life, etc. I want to make sure that I have makeup that I'm testing for YouTube in that space. So I'm keeping all of that in this pouch and having it by my side when I'm getting ready every day and just like dipping into it to see like what I feel like using, what I think I might want to be testing, etc. And then this is my personal everyday makeup that I always need. You know what I mean? Like that I know that I want to have with me. So the makeup brushes that I use every day, a couple of pieces of makeup that I use absolutely every single day, and the color cosmetics that I'm like the most excited about or that I'm finding the most useful that already belong to me, that are integrated into my collection. So if you saw that video, you already know all of this, but I'm back again today to update you on how it's going, both with what I put into my personal makeup bag in that video, and more importantly and more excitingly with the stuff that's in this bag. Because for the past couple of weeks, I have been dipping into this every single day, and I've developed thoughts about a lot of what's in here, much more extensive thoughts and reviews than I had before. And I think I'm ready to excise some products from this, move some of them over into this collection, and also let some of them go permanently. If this happens to be your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. My name is Hannah. I'm a writer. I'll link my book down below. I also love beauty and aesthetics, and I make videos about those things. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Okay, so this is what's in my everyday personal makeup bag, and this is the stuff that I've been testing. The first thing I'm going to do is to pull out the pieces of makeup from both of these piles that I have been wearing pretty much on a daily basis since I last touched base with you about these things. Okay, so these are the pieces of my everyday makeup that I've been using absolutely every single day. I am still, dare I say, obsessed with, at the very least, deeply impressed with the Refi concealer. I did a full dedicated review of this, y'all. Like, I dedicated a video to this product, and in that video I tried to explain how great it is, and I don't think I even fully covered it. It's grown on me even more than it had by the time I created that video. I find myself enjoying looking at my skin in the mirror, not in like a weird narcissistic way for minutes on end, but like glancing at my skin in the mirror when I like go to the bathroom and I'm washing my hands towards the end of the day. So like I've had my makeup on all day, I go to wash my hands, and a little treat, a little side effect of being there in front of the mirror is that I get to glance into the mirror at how clear and bright my skin looks because of this product. And, you know, I'm not taking the best care of my skin still. This is just kind of a low point right now in terms of self-care for me, in terms of time. There's a lot that's good, but there's a lot that's a struggle right now. And so it should be a time of life when I don't enjoy glancing at my skin in the mirror. And when I first wake up in the morning, I often don't enjoy glancing at my skin in the mirror because I look a little bit gray and drawn. I look tired. My skin looks dull, dehydrated. My fine lines and wrinkles are more pronounced than ever. But after I've put this product on throughout the day, I'm like, wow, look at my skin. And it's partly the kind of glass skin glow that it leaves. Because I'm raving about it, I'm not going to swatch absolutely everything, but I don't even know if swatches will do it justice. No, because here you're just seeing, well, this color I think is actually part of it. What I was going to say is it's partly the sort of glass skin glow that it leaves, but it's also, there's something about like the creamy brightness of this color for me. So what I do is I put this under my eyes and on the high points, and I put this on the other parts of my face, and then they kind of blend together, but it's also sort of a sculpting situation. There's something about the creamy brightness of this color and the way it really lights up my skin that makes my skin look particularly creamy texturally, but I think it has to do with the color. So, this one's a little bit too sort of peachy for me, and this one's a little bit too light for me, but together they work wonders. And I don't know if you can see the slightly glistening glass skin finish that it gives, but it is notable on the skin for me. It is notable. It's something that I've been enjoying every day. This is like a smash hit product for me, maybe the product of the year for me so far. I just absolutely am gaga for it. So I usually mix in a little bit of the Exa Green color corrector just to help the concealing products cancel redness. And the three of them combined, that's what I put on my face every day. The Refer BO2 has been my base brush of choice. It's big and dense and soft, and it just blends everything out in a hot second. And then I've been using the Kimiko pencil in black tea when I need to fill my brows in a little bit. It's this nice, hard, kind of ashy brow pencil that no matter how worn down it gets, it still creates a really fine hair-like stroke. But in my brows, pretty much every day, what I've been enjoying using is the 1999 Lash Tint Mascara Lash and Brow Tint, which I've become convinced is actually just a brow tint that they decided to market as a mascara, like as a lash tint, because it works much better in the brows to me. This little bendy brush clings to every hair. The moussey product coats every brow hair. It's not an extremely firm, like super harsh, hard hold, but the mousse is dry enough, is sort of firm enough that it helps a little bit with sculpting. The color is this kind of ashy taupe that works with the dark color that I dye my brows, doesn't warm up my brows, but doesn't really darken them in a dramatic way. So it's this nice kind of neutral. And I just like the way that it kind of thickens and shapes my brows when I brush it through them. I'm so into using this in my brows right now, often with a little bit of the Kimiko pencil. I got this to review in that mascara video, searching for a brown mascara. And I really like the way it looks on my lashes, but it's so moussey that I find it unsatisfying to apply as a mascara. And so I find myself reaching for this instead. The Redhead Revolution mascara in Genuine Ginger, which is also from that video. The only drawback of it in that video that I found was that it's a bit wet. It's kind of a dramatic makeup-y mascara. At least it is right now, pretty much freshly opened. But I absolutely love the color. It doesn't end up being too warm on me because it's that kind of yellowy, light brown. What I found myself wishing for was just a softer, wispier, less gunky application for a really natural look in the day-to-day. So what I've been doing is this, wiping it off. And as it dries out, that'll probably be sufficient to give me a lighter application. But since it's fresh and wet, I've also been taking like a little square of tissue and just gently wiping the excess off of the wand even after I scrape most of it into the tube. And then when I go to apply it to my lashes, it's absolutely perfect. So I'm going to move these two over into my makeup bag because every day I'm like digging through the other bag to find them because I use them every morning. I've been using them every morning for a couple of weeks. They've really become my brow and lash products of choice right now. So those are being adopted. The Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base has actually become really useful to me too. A little bit goes a really long way. And it's great when I feel like I don't have time in the mornings to do like a full skincare routine and prep for makeup, but I need to put makeup on for filming because my window for filming has opened. I have to get to work basically, and I don't have enough time to really like do the best by my skin because it's rich enough to soothe the skin and to really take care of any dryness that I might have in the mornings when I haven't really been packing on a bunch of other products. But it also has this slightly emollient, slightly waxy layer that stays on top that acts as a nice primer. So it's a great like all-in-one product in a pinch. And I've been in a pinch for months, so I've found myself reaching for it a lot. So I'm also going to move this over into my permanent makeup bag because I feel confident I'm just going to use this until I use it up. Okay, I'm testing a bunch of Rhode. I finally broke down. The comments convinced me. Some of y'all really love Rhode and really think it's great. And actually, you're not wrong. I am, of course, going to film a whole video about it, but it has been fascinating, especially because I was such a naysayer in new makeup hot takes for so many, really, months last year. And this is actually here as a stand-in because the Rhode product that I cannot stop wearing is the Peptide Lip Treatment, the brown one, the dark, cool-toned brown one. And the reason that I don't have it here is that it's in my bag. It's like in my purse. I've been wearing it more than anything else because it's the thing that I've been taking on the go. It goes with everything. It's so nourishing. I love the way that it looks. Stay tuned for the video soon because of course I'll be applying it on camera and you'll be able to see. I do like this, the Peptide Lip Treatment, just the clear one, the treatment balm, but it's the brown one that is officially being adopted that I've been wearing constantly and that I wanted to share with you. The rest of my everyday makeup products still going strong. I have enjoyed all of these from time to time over the past couple of weeks, but this isn't what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the stuff that's been in purgatory. All right, let's go category by category, actually. Starting with cheek products, of which there are clearly many. And I haven't been able to actively test all of these over these weeks because I only have 2 cheeks. And also, I've been letting myself reach for the ones that I like the most over and over again because that's sort of the point of this, right? It's like, which are the ones that keep calling to me because I end up really liking the way that they look. And without a doubt, those are actually some surprises. A surprise, I guess. It's these 3. The surprise is this. This is from my drugstore blush video. It's the About Face Cheek Freak Blush Balm in the shade Cowgirl. It's a surprise because it's called a balm. And I don't usually like a cheek balm. I don't like a melting balm for the cheek. The color, it's basically persimmon, not really a blush color that I've been into lately. But there's something about the way that the formula disperses on the skin and disperses this color in particular. It just ends up looking absolutely gorgeous. And the back of my hand isn't really going to do it justice. But you can see, though, how light it becomes, right? But it doesn't have that melting balm quality where it feels like it's melting because it has oils in it. It becomes sort of watercolory. It becomes kind of Glossier, cloud painty, and it looks really natural. The color builds to something. It's just so flattering. I love the way that my face makeup ends up looking when I wear this. I'm so glad that I decided to go out on a limb and get this color for that video. There you can kind of see, right? You can kind of see how it would end up looking on the cheek. And I applied it in that video testing drugstore blushes, and it was absolutely gorgeous. In practice, this has been the clear winner from the drugstore blush video because the other 2 are also in this bag. And this is the one that I've enjoyed wearing the most and that I've reached for the most often by far. I just wish, I do love this color. That's been one of the interesting things. I do wish, though, that this product came in some more desaturated colors, like some grayish, greenish, icky, sticky, mucky, yucky colors, because most of them are really saturated, bright colors. But gosh, what a beautiful product. Also, it can be built up. I've shown you this really light application, but I've been preferring a lighter look lately, but you can get more color with it. You can get a richer look. It's just, it builds in a way that means it's always going to look natural. Not necessarily natural when you've got a bright color on your cheek, but it's always going to look like it's part of your skin. So that's been a real winner. A++. The Ami Colé Desert Date Cream Multi-Stick in the shade Dune. Absolutely stunning, creamy enough to work on cheeks and lips, lights up the face, brown enough to still look sophisticated on me instead of looking really bright, but not that kind of orange toned brown. You know, this is like my perfect bronzer color, frankly. And it's just, when you think of a cream stick, a cream multi-stick, it has like a creamy integrity instead of a silicone-y slippiness. It doesn't melt away to a balmy oil. It's not Vaseline-y. It's like, if you think of a really great lipstick that's just classic lipstick, cream makeup full of pigment that's creamy on your skin, that behaves the way that you imagine it should. You think of that in a multi-stick. That's this. Like, look at that color on my finger right there. It's just perfectly formulated and a pleasure to use both on the cheeks and the lips. However, I have to say, and I'm kind of spoiling the Rhode review, although I'm not, because I got one of everything, so I have all the skincare too. None of these blushes have been on my face as much as this has been. The Rhode Pocket Blush in Sleepy Girl. Can you see that sheen? Do you see that slight sheen? The thing is, it blends out. It's not glittery or anything, but it blends out to just have this really healthy look on the skin. I love the way it makes skin look. And as you can see, it blends out seamlessly in this really watercolory way, but also has the integrity of a nice cream product. Maybe a little bit on the thinner side than the multi-stick. They're quite similar, but see how neutral this becomes rather than retaining a little bit of an orangey quality. I was saying before that this isn't that orangey brown, but compared to Sleepy Girl, you start to see some of those sunset tones coming out in the Desert Date stick. I just love this color. It really does look like a flush or a stain, and I love the finish that it leaves behind. It's been my top blush for the past couple of weeks by far. But really, all three of these, and what a pleasing trio they do make. All three of these have brought joy to my life. All three of them have brought life to my face. Together, they have kind of revived my interest in blush, which has waned dramatically over the past year, I would say. I'll definitely be keeping all three of these. I'm not sure I'm going to add all three of them directly to my everyday makeup bag because I don't want it to get too full. I think I'm going to put this in my everyday makeup bag, but I'm just going to move these into my permanent makeup collection. Okay, of the rest of these, I haven't gotten to test all of them frequently enough to comment on them, but some of them I have. Let's actually talk about the two from the drugstore blush video. The Undone Beauty Lip to Cheek palette in Rosewood. I thought I was really gonna like this when I tested it in that video because it has that really thick lipsticky quality. It's really satisfying makeup. I mean, it is really, really great. It reminds me of the e.l.f. Active Lip and Cheek a little bit. But the thing is, it's so pigmented and it's kind of stiff. Like, look at that crazy pigment and it's kind of stiff. So that's just like a little dab. I start to blend it out. It's not blending nearly as well as either of the two that I just showed you, the Rhode and the one from Ami Colé. It's kind of got a sticky blend. Also, it's blending out a little bit pinker, a little bit more like a tangerine-y pink. Every time I've started to use it, I've regretted my choice because I start to blend it out and I'm like, it's hard to get it to blend as seamlessly, as easily, and then it's blending out quite bright. So I just haven't ended up liking this. It has really good qualities, and you might be able to tell that it is for you based on what I've said and what I've shown, but it's not for me. So I'm reckoning with this now. I'm not going to keep it. And then the one from e.l.f., the Halo Glow Blush Wand, I actually haven't tested enough to be able to reckon with now. So I'm going to leave this in the Purgatory bag. The other blushes have just overshadowed it. This Ciel blush I've returned to a couple of times recently. This brand is so beautiful. The products are so beautiful. The formulas are really, really good. And this is a blush with SPF 50, which I really like. In the tube, the color looks nice and dusky. It also looks nice and light, but in practice, it's quite pink on me and it really makes my cheeks quite pink. Maybe it's just compared to the really delightful, sort of subtler, ruddier shades that I've been testing, that tangerine blush, those really browny mauves. But every time I've used it, I've gone on top of it with something else because I have felt that the color that it leaves behind, it isn't as utterly utter as I would like it to be. So I am not going to keep this either. Yensa Ginger Blaze is actually stunning. I'm wearing this today. I feel like I haven't bonded with it. It's funny. It has a lot of qualities similar to the About Face blush. Their textures are kind of similar, and yet the Yensa one has that duskiness that I prefer. It's more of a brick. I just feel like I haven't bonded with it. It might be something to do with the packaging, weirdly. It doesn't feel as covetable as some of the other products. I think I need to leave it in purgatory because I think I like it more than I think I do, and I just haven't really gotten there yet with it. The Ciel Sculpt and Protect stick, it's like a bronzer. I really love the creaminess of this, but I haven't actually used it. These last three I haven't actually used, so they're going to stay in purgatory as well. Now that those top of the line blushes are out of the bag, I think I'll be able to test these more. This is the Farah Homidi Lip Compact, which is also a cheek, and the Gucci Gloss. Look at these luscious lip products. What a joy to be able to test all of these. Some of these need to stay in purgatory, but I have thoughts on most of them. The ones that need to stay in purgatory that I haven't tested enough to comment on are the Lawless Forget the Filler Plumping Lip Gloss. This is going to stay behind. The Saltaire Oil Balm, I tried it one time. I actually bought this. I bought it because Simbri told me that the deodorants, the Saltaire deodorants, have the same ingredients as the Necessaire deodorants, but they're a much lower price point. And Necessaire discontinued the sandalwood scent in their deodorant, which made me so disappointed because the only other options are unscented and eucalyptus. And I'm not the biggest fan of the eucalyptus for daily use. So I was willing to try the Saltaire. And it's okay. Their Santal Bloom, which is the scent that I got, the deodorant, it does work just as well as the Necessaire. The scent's a little bit floral for me, a little bit overpowering, but I got a couple of other things from Saltaire at the same time to test. This, it was pinker than I expected. It is more scented than I expected, and I didn't love the scent. I need to give it a little bit more of a try because I just wore it one time. I actually don't think any of the rest of these need to stay in purgatory. I think I know what I think about all of them, so let's go. The Lisa Eldridge Balms, Metropolis, and Sweet Fig. Y'all, I don't like them. I've filmed a video about them. What is it? There's too much pigment and not enough grip. They melt away, so they don't give me that cushiony layer on the skin that I want. It doesn't feel like my skin is being protected long term. But at the same time, I kind of struggle to slather them onto my lips without the pigment being a little bit streaky, being too apparent. I know they look really sheer right here, but they're not really that super sheer, effortless apply without a mirror balm. It just hasn't worked out. I'm not keeping them. They don't feel like satisfying skincare. And so I don't end up reaching for them. And at the same time, they don't look good. I can't get them to look good. So it's like two strikes against them. That's why it hasn't worked out. Rowan. The Rowan Gloss went onto the market after Nikki DeRoast, the makeup artist that originally founded Rowan, had parted ways with the brand. So I don't know if she had her hand in the development of this, but look how beautiful it is, y'all. Look at this. Unbelievably beautiful packaging. How chic, how covetable. I think it was like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, that I wanted to try these glosses. The Rowan gloss was on the market and I hadn't tried one. And I eventually just got one for the purposes of review. Like, I spent some of my channel's review budget on this. It's been floating around. And I finally really went back and tested it a lot this week and confirmed what I thought I remembered from my first impressions of it, which is that I hate it. And you know what the problem is? It is exactly as I suspected, Teflon jelly. You can kind of even see it in that swatch. You see how it's like sitting on the skin? It's like a liquid plastic. It doesn't bond with the lips. It doesn't nourish. I'm sure the claims say that it does, that it's full of stuff that's good for your lips. But my experience of this is that it just feels sort of like a liquid plastic paste. It just sits on the lips, and it's my least favorite kind of lip gloss formula. It reminds me of the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. That's like the first time I remember coming across something like this, and it's just not for me. I know some of you love that kind of thing, and if you do, I'm glad to be able to tell you that this is that, because look how beautiful it is. It's not for me. I'm not keeping it. So these are two clear lip treatments that are both phenomenal. The Rhode, I'll talk about more in the Rhode review, but I'm definitely going to keep this. Phytosurgence Calm Conditions Lip Balm, I will talk about more in my upcoming finale to the search for the best tinted lip balm. This isn't the tinted one though, it's the clear one. Absolutely phenomenal. Talk about something that applies a very satisfying, long-lasting layer of kind of creamy, jelly, but sturdy skincare to the lips. I mean, it's like compared to the Lisa Eldridge, which just melts away basically to a thin oil. Phytosurgence feels a little waxier going on. It doesn't have that immediate melting on contact with the lips, but a couple of swipes, a couple of layers, and it is like a cushion of protective skincare that feels so good and lasts all day. I'm definitely keeping this, and I'm actually going to put it in my handbag. Okay, these last three have actually gotten a lot of wear time from me over the past couple of weeks because I really wanted to test them. Juvia's Place Sugar Cookie. I got this for a video, probably one of the tinted lip balms videos or a video looking for interesting colors of lip product at the drugstore. I can't remember. It is amazing at plumping. The color is absolutely beautiful. Feels good on the lips. I love the bullet format. To me, it has one drawback, which is the intense pigment level. So the only way for me to really wear this is to dot a little bit on my lower lip and then use my finger to apply it, to like spread it around to get the layer that I want. And then the color's beautiful. The layer is beautiful. My lips look beautiful because it's all plumped up. I wish that it had like a quarter to a tenth of the amount of pigment that it has in it so that I could just get this effect straight from the bullet. But as it is, I like it enough to keep it. So I'm going to add it to my permanent makeup collection. I'm wearing it today, actually. Ami Collet lip gloss. It's just so good. This is in the shade Excellence. It is just so good. And it's not as like dark. It's not as cool toned as the Rhode gloss, the one that's not here. I did swatch them side by side in that other video when I was sorting out my makeup, this and the dark brown Rhode gloss, which is, I think it's called Espresso. It's really cool toned. And this looked almost warm compared to it. But this, it almost is like it has a little green in it. There's some magical alchemy of the color of this that makes it look so good on the lips. It just looks so good. It's sticky, you know, it's a real lip gloss, but I can't stop reaching for it because it looks so beautiful and it feels really good to apply. And it hasn't leaked yet. That was the problem with this before. I hope that they've improved the packaging, but I'm actually going to throw this into my everyday makeup bag so that I can keep giving it a really good trial in terms of the leaking. The Gucci gloss, y'all. I have thoughts about this. I was shocked when I first tested this at how intensely plumping it is. It is a serious, old-fashioned plumping gloss. Lip venom vibes. Bee stung lips vibes. I mean, it is absolutely wild. And at the time, I wasn't sure that I liked it. I've worn it a couple times this week. I love the way that it makes my lips look. It's so long lasting. It's so effective. The combination of the plumping with the color of this, which is really pretty, is fantastic. And I'm definitely going to keep it. Here's the thing though. It's not great for me because it's not great for eating and drinking. Eating and drinking kind of disturbs the finish, makes it wear off. And it's not great for childcare, you know what I mean, for being in constant contact with a baby because it's so sticky and you can't really disturb it. What it's good for is applying to have your lips be turning a look for like hours on end, staying shiny, staying plump, like looking incredible. I imagine that if you are a student, for example, and you want to be absolutely fierce at school, you could apply this in the morning and it'll look impeccable until lunchtime. And then you can like apply it after lunch and it'll look impeccable. Like that's the kind of setting for which this is ideal, or for work, I guess. It's a great product. It really has longevity. I don't think that for my lifestyle right now, I'm going to be wearing it all that often. I think it would also be really great for going out at night, as long as you have your hair pulled back, because if your hair is flying around, it's going to get stuck in it. It really has strong pros and a couple of cons, but to me, the pros outweigh the cons. And now that I've gotten to know it better, I'm really happy to have it in my arsenal. So I'm going to keep it. Okay, this is the rest of what was in there. These 4 mascaras really haven't gotten any play because I've been so into the one from Redhead Revolution, so I'm going to keep them in purgatory. This is a cheek highlighter from Unearthly that I really like, that I wanted to test more. I also haven't used it. I'm going to keep it in purgatory. I really want to do more testing of the Lisa Eldridge eyeshadow, but it just slipped to the bottom of the bag and I forgot about it. So I am going to leave this in purgatory. And then the Farrow Media Face Compact, I quite like this. I use it. I had been using it pretty frequently just to touch up and as something useful and all-purpose, but I haven't really used it much over these past couple of weeks because I have been so deeply in love with the ones from Refi, the concealers. So all of these are going to stay in purgatory. That means this is what's going back into the bag for continued testing, possibly to be joined by some other makeup as more things flow through the system. I've decluttered a handful of things and I've kept a handful of things. And I'm really enjoying this setup, having the 2 bags downstairs, working with them on a daily basis, and then reporting back to you. So stay tuned to find out more about the products that I'm continuing to test, the products that I haven't yet begun to test. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for spending this time with me, and don't forget to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.